What happens when you push the biggest Italian gangster to his limits? Or the ex-military son takes his father's revenge. Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today we will discuss a movie about a clever gangster who took control of the whole country by granting the powerful people small favors. So let's get started. In the late summer of 1945, guests gather for the wedding of Don Vito Corleone's daughter. As friends and acquaintances arrive, they refer to Don Corleone, the head of the family, as Godfather. During the wedding celebration, Don Corleone and his trusted family lawyer, Tom Hagen, are approached by various guests seeking favors. According to Italian tradition, he can't refuse a request for the occasion of his daughter's wedding, so Don Corleone must hear these requests. Amerigo Bonacera, an undertaker, pleads with Don Vito Corleone to help him seek revenge against the men who brutally assaulted his daughter. He went to the police, but the culprits were free with minimum punishment. Don Corleone listens to Bonacera's story and agrees to help him, but warns him that he will owe him a favor in return. In the meantime, Michael, the youngest son of Don, arrives at the wedding as a decorated hero of the U.S. Marine who served in the war. While talking to his girlfriend, Kay, he reveals his father's criminal activities to her. Despite his family's involvement in illegal dealings, Michael assures her he does not intend to follow in their footsteps. During the wedding, Michael introduces Kay to his family. Michael's older brother, Fredo, appears highly intoxicated when he meets them. Sonny, Don's oldest son and heir to the family business, has a quick temper and is unfaithful in his marriage. Tom Hagen is Don's adopted son. One of the guests includes Johnny Fontaine, the godson of Don Corleone, who came to seek Vito's assistance in finding a movie role that will revive his dead career. Jack Woltz, the movie's director, denies Johnny's plea to be the lead actor. Thus, he is here to make a request. Don Corleone promises Johnny that he will take care of the situation, and as he will make the director such an irresistible offer that he won't be able to refuse it. Luca Brasi is a powerful gangster and one of Corleone's most trusted men. He also comes to pay his ect for Don's wedding. He fulfills the baker's request, who had requested them to help his nephew become a U.S. citizen. Later Don sends Hagen to California to meet with Woltz, who angrily refuses to cast Johnny in the film. Woltz despises Fontaine for seducing and ruining a starlet who was his partner. However, when he wakes up the following morning, he finds the removed head of his beloved $600,000 stallion, Khartoum, beside him. He then changes his mind and gives the main role to Johnny. A few days later, the family meets with Virgil Sollozzo, who has the support of the Tattaglia family. Sollozzo requests funding and protection from Don Corleone to import and distribute heroin, promising immense profits. However, Vito Corleone declines, stating that entering the drug trade would endanger the relationships he has built with powerful people, including judges and politicians, over many years, and they would sever ties with him. After the meeting, Don Corleone sends Luca Brasi to gather information about Sollozzo's organization. However, Brasi is strangled and killed by them. Fredo, who is standing in as his father's bodyguard due to Paulie Gatto's absence, cannot protect his father as an assassination attempt is made on Don Corleone's life by Sollozzo's men. However, it's unclear whether Don survived this attack or not. Sollozzo then kidnaps Tom Hagen and asks him to offer Sonny the same deal he had promised his father. Following Tom's release, Sollozzo discovers that Corleone has survived the assassination attempt. Tom presents the offer to Sonny, but he declines and warns the Tattaglias to either give him Sollozzo so he can extract his revenge or prepare for a ruthless and expensive mob conflict that would harm both sides. They later find Luca Brasi's vest and 2 fish, so they realize he has been killed, and his body is now with the fish inside the ocean. Later, Clemenza, Paulie, and a hitman go to Manhattan because Sonny wants to set up safe houses for the Corleone family's enforcers in case of a gang conflict. While coming back, Clemenza instructs Paulie to pull over for a minute, but unfortunately, Rocco kills Paulie, flees with Clemenza, and leaves the car and Paulie behind. Following a dinner with Kay at her hotel, Michael sees his father in the hospital, where he is surprised to learn that his father is unsupervised. A nurse informs him that the guards violated hospital regulations and had to leave. Upon realizing his father is in danger of being assassinated again, he contacts Sonny and asks for backup. He then moves his father to another room, and with the assistance of Enzo, the baker, who arrives to pay his respects at the hospital, tricks Sollozzo's men as they pass by. The police arrive and Michael asks Captain McCluskey what he has been paid, so the captain gets angry and hits Michael with a strong punch. At that moment, Hagen reaches the hospital with armed private investigators to protect Don and take the wounded Michael to his home. In retaliation, Sonny assassinates Bruno Tattaglia. After the failed assassination attempt, Sollozzo sets up a meeting with Michael, where police Captain McCluskey and his security will be present. Sonny and other senior members of the family initially find it amusing when Michael proposes to kill their targets at the meeting. Michael convinces them that it's necessary for the family's benefit and assures them he is serious. Being a civilian, Michael won't draw suspicion as a Corleone representative. Despite being against the norm to target police officers, Michael argues that McCluskey is not a good man and is even working with Sollozzo, making him a legitimate target. They plan to find the location of the meeting beforehand and leave the gun there before Michael, Sollozzo, and McCluskey arrive. Clemenza meets with Michael and shows him the gun that he will use to carry out the killing. He also tells Michael that the family is proud of him for his military service and the service he is about to do. Before the meeting at a small Italian restaurant, McCluskey and his men thoroughly check Michael to ensure he is unarmed. After conversing with Sollozzo, Michael goes to the restroom and picks up the hidden revolver. When he returns to the table, he shoots and kills Sollozzo, followed by McCluskey. The authorities also initiated a crackdown on organized crime. After some time, when Don returns home from the hospital, he is heartbroken to learn that Michael carried out the assassination himself. In Sicily, Michael falls in love with a girl named Apollonia and decides to marry her. Meanwhile, Connie and Carlo's marriage is falling apart due to Carlo's alleged adultery and possessive behavior. One day when Sonny visits his sister, he notices a bruise on Connie's face and learns that Carlo hit her. In retaliation, Sonny severely beats Carlo publicly, threatening to murder him if he ever hurts his sister again. Later, one of Carlo's girlfriends calls him, but Connie picks up the phone and is heartbroken. She starts breaking everything in the house, and Carlo beats her again. Connie calls and tells Sonny of Carlo's abuse, who furiously drives to Carlo's home to confront him. However, he is ambushed and brutally killed at a toll booth. Tom Hagen informs the Don of Sonny's murder, but instead of seeking vengeance, he asks Tom to set up a meeting with the heads of the other mafia families so they can end this war. The Don asks Bonacera to oversee Sonny's embalming. The Don arranges a ceasefire with the chiefs of the 5 families, as revenge for Sonny's death would only harm their business and Michael's safety. Don changes his mind and agrees to offer protection for Tattaglia's drug trafficking as long as it is regulated and not sold to minors. But he also tells them that if anything were to happen to Michael after his return, he would blame the people in this room. During the meeting, the Don realizes that Don Barzini, not Tattaglia, is responsible for starting the chaos. In Sicily, Michael receives the news of his brother Sonny's death. Tomasino urges him to leave for a better location, as his current location might have been compromised. As Michael and Tomasino prepare to depart, a car bomb meant for Michael explodes, killing Apollonia instead. After returning home, Michelle meets his ex-girlfriend Kay and tells her he wants them to live together. Despite her disappointment with Michael's delayed approach, she agrees to go with him. With Don Vito retiring, Sonny dead, and Fredo considered unfit to handle the family business, Michael takes the position of the head of the family. Clemenza and Tessio want to retaliate against the Barzini family, but Michael, now in charge, refuses. He plans to move the family to Nevada and let Clemenza and Tessio start their own families in New York. Carlo, Connie's husband, is promised the role of right-hand Michael in Nevada, and Tom is made the family lawyer. After some time, Michael visits Las Vegas and meets with Mo Green, a successful casino owner interested in expanding his business. Fredo was their snitch in Green's business. After the failed attempt and Don's life, he was sent to learn more about Green's business. Michael offers to buy out Green but declines, believing he can make a better deal with Barzini. Fredo supports Green during their discussion, causing a rift with Michael, who warns Fredo not to stand against the family again. After Michael's return, Vito privately expresses his concern that their enemies will try to assassinate Michael by luring him into a meeting. Vito admits that he hoped Michael would become a powerful government official, such as a senator or a governor, rather than become involved in the family business. He also tells him that whoever approaches him with a meeting on behalf of Barzini is a traitor. A few months later, while Don is playing with his young grandson, he suddenly falls and dies. At his burial, Tessio approaches Michael and offers to arrange a meeting with Barzini, revealing himself as the traitor that Vito had warned Michael about. Michael then orders the assassinations of all the heads of the 5 families. The assassinations occur while Michael attends the baptism of his godson, Connie's son. Tessio and Hagen head to the meeting between Michael and Barzini after the baptism, but Hagen is intercepted by Michael's men, revealing Michael's knowledge of Tessio's betrayal. Tessio admits his respect for Michael and appeals to Hagen for assistance, but is turned down and killed in the car. Michael then confronts Carlo and pressures him into admitting his role in planning the ambush for the murder of Sonny. Michael assures Carlo that he won't be executed but punishes him by banishing him from the family business and giving him a plane ticket to Las Vegas. However, Clemenza carries out Michael's order to kill Carlo and strangles him in the car on the way to the airport. Connie approaches Michael and accuses him of killing Carlo for his possible role in Sonny's death. She believes Michael waited until their father's passing to do the act so nobody could stop him. Kay confronts Michael about the accusation, but he tells her how he can do this when he is their son's godfather. When she insists, Michael lies and denies involvement in Carlo's death, which reassures Kay. Clemenza, Rocco Lampone, and Neri arrive to congratulate Michael, addressing him as Don Corleone.